What's up guys, this is Miasin and welcome to the OCG Metagame Breakdown number 8 and 9. This is the very first one that includes the newer set that we got in the OCG that we're about to get in the TCG in December, which is Crossover Breakers. This one has the Ryzeal, Maliss, and Apogeosis decks. Apogeosis is utter garbage, so you don't really have to think about that too much. As a matter of fact, it's the only one out of the three that I never covered in a video yet. I will probably still talk about it, but what really matters would be the Ryzeal deck. That's like extreme tier 1. As a matter of fact, it's currently the best deck tied with Snake Eye. And also Maliss is pretty good. It's a Cybers deck that can play Shifter, which is very interesting, not the kind of thing that you usually see. Anyways, before we go any further, friendly reminder to smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep breathing. Okay, so obviously Ryzeal, Snake Eye tied. Snake Eye, I don't really care about that. Tenpai Dragon, okay, it's falling off a little bit because Ryzeal is very good at making half boards under, bullshit cards like Shifter. I mean, it can play Shifter itself, so it's not like it loses to Tenpai Dragon's best card, which let's admit it, it's Shifter. And also the best cards after that would be like all the hand shops they can play, because the Tenpai Dragon engine itself, not super fantastic. Anyways, Fiendsmith Yubel, very weird to see Fiendsmith Yubel still seeing play, because it was not seeing play at, the last time. By the way, I will be making a World Championship series, I guess a Worlds recap very soon. Hold on a second. Yeah, no, I'm very stupid. I just clicked on the exact same thing. There we go. Number 7. Yubel was, way worse. 8 out of 161. Now it is 9 out of 118. Okay, it's not even that much of a dip. Who cares? Maliss, yeah, like I said, very cool deck. Centurion, without King Calamity, but still with Crimson Dragon. Fiendsmith Magical Musket, Labyrinth, Voiceless Voice, Ryugi. Oh, yeah, that's true. They changed they changed Apogeosis to Ryugi. Oh, that's, ew, I want to vomit. The word is disgusting, but yeah, I guess it's like the best way to play Voiceless Voice if you don't mind playing like a few Garnets in your deck. You're gonna make your deck worse, but also more explosive. So yeah, if you like Win Mores, I guess this is something that you could look into. But the reason why I say that is because there is a Ritual Light Dragon that you can search very easily with Silent Force, the Voiceless Voice, Silent Force, or whatever. Who cares? The Voices Guardian of the whatever, or Protector. I forgot the big dude. I don't even know their names at this point. Yeah, that can search the Ritual Monster, and then it gets your play started, and you can make Varudras and stuff like that. Okay, Fiendsmith Chimera, that's actually a really cool deck, and it can utilize the Evil Hero cards. So I'm also gonna make a video on that very soon. Gimmick Puppet, the FTK is still a thing. I will also make an updated video on this soon enough. Don't worry. Salaman, Great Shark. Man, this deck isn't doing jack shit. Fire King, Azimina, Sinful Spell, Snake Eye. I don't even know. This is so redundant because it's just obvious that Fire King is going to be playing with these cards. Drytron, Rescue Ace, Evil Twin, Memento, Valmonica. Oh, only one Memento. That is not a lot. Huge fall from where it was before, especially considering the fact that the new support from Rage of the Abyss made the deck much better. The Goblin Biker Grand Imprisonment allows you to summon any Goblin monster from your deck, so you can summon a Memento Goblin, and that card is really good at just making you push even more. Anyways, we got Kashtira, Fiendsmith, Allure Queen. Okay, the Allure Queen engine is very neggy, but you can do some nasty things with Chaotic Allure Queen. That card's broken, and also it gets you, I guess, a few spell cards that you can pitch for the effects of your nothing. I really don't understand the synergy between these three. I'm very confused. Anyways, Kashtira, Scareclaw, Millennium, Exodia, which is also redundant, because Exodia is Millennium, unless you're playing like Royal Magical Library FTK, which nobody's doing in 2024, unless you're on Master Duel, in which case uninstall the game, please. Yearly, Ritual Beast, Runic, Six Samurai, I don't care. Okay, Ryzeal, alright. So I've already kind of explained almost everything for the most part. You're more than welcome to go to Road of the King and check this out for yourself, and just in case you need some explanation on how you can dodge Infinite Impermanence on your dual drive, this is the Xyz monster that can search 2 cards. It's extremely good. This has a very similar effect as Gigantic Sprite, so it doesn't detach materials for cost, but rather as effect. So if you can ogre this card, it's basically gonna negate and destroy, if you understand what I'm trying to say. Unless you have like another Xyz, then it's still gonna work. If you have cards like Book of Eclipse or Book of Moon to flip your own monster face down, just like with Gigantic, you can protect yourself, which is very good. Overall, decent at playing through hand traps, because Trap Chicks Reflegia is insane. You can send Gravedigger and negate Nibiru, or you can use the Field Spell to negate Nibiru, and the Field Spell gives you an infinite grind game, so against the grindy matchups, you know what you can do. As a matter of fact, this deck really reminds me of Math Mech, even in terms of card design. This card right here, the first one, the Fire Dude, it has the exact same freaking face as Circular, I swear to God. And even like the cards that they play overall are just almost the same. Like Sakitama, that's also a card that I played in Mathmech. A bunch of hand shabs, there you go. I can realize that, this is the deck for me. Not really though. I really hate rank 4 turbo decks. They don't really do anything other than making rank 4s because you're always locked into rank 4s. So it's funny that you play a Zeus that you're almost never going to be summoning. Well, I mean, you can sometimes depending on how you play it out. And Aggregator is also not a card that you summon, but you send it with this card right here, the X Ryzeal or something, the green one. There we go. So yeah, the deck is relatively solid going second. If you get hit by D-Barrier, you are going to die. So yeah, make sure that you don't, that doesn't happen. And yeah, like I said, hand shops are terrible against this deck, so people are trying more of a board breaker approach. And for going first, you don't want to side in more hand shops. You want cards that protect you from Ultimate Slayer, Book of Eclipse, etc. So anti-spell, Solemn Judgment are good. The only issue is that it's not gonna be ideal because if you get hit by Book of Eclipse chaining to anti-spell, you are still gonna die. So yeah, that's a nice deck you got there. So yeah, also try to draw that Ash or that Shifter if you're going first against a combo deck. Overall, this deck is very good, but it's very basic. It's always doing the same thing. It has a very low skill ceiling, I guess. It reminds me a little bit of Tenpai Dragon, but for going first. Mathmech is way more complicated. This is brain dead almost. As Snake Eye, this has a lot of options. The way the OCG plays it is also very weird. By the way, there's also one D-Bear that I really do not understand in the side deck. It's not like you can say that it's a thrust target because it's just a one of. But yeah, no, this deck also has a Scarlet Sorrow or something, the level 4 Fiendsmith monster that you can summon with the Link 1. This basically translates to what we have in the TCG as the form of Necroquip Princess. So they can turn 2 monsters into the Fiendsmith package, but we can pretty much do the same thing without this card right here. So honestly, it doesn't really matter too much. As you can see, they don't have Necroquip. It's a TCG exclusive. No shit. Okay, alright. So 3 Book of Eclipse in the side deck. As I've said, this card is insane against them. Extremely good. And the reason why Book of Eclipse is the best card against Ryzeal is because, first of all, they have protection from destruction. So yeah, like I said, this card protects you from card effect destruction. But the field spell also is a monster negation if they still have an Xyz monster with Xyz monster underneath, Xyz material underneath. So what you can do is you flip everything face down, and then not only are the Xyz monsters no longer any threat, but also the field spell isn't going to be doing anything. So yeah, Book of Eclipse is your best friend. Swords of Concealing Light might unironically be a decent option, but Rafflesia can still destroy, still destroy Swords of Concealing Light by sending the whole thruster. So maybe you don't even have that many options, unfortunately. Book of Eclipse is just drastically better. And then we have nothing else that's really worth covering because the deck that we're going to be playing in the TCG is going to be so much different than this. They have 3 Populists, we only have 1, and they also have... Yeah, there's not even that much of a difference, but the extra deck is completely different. They have Lacrimosa and Beatrice, we don't have any of that. So yeah, the TCG version of Azamina Snake Eye, not even close to that. Again, bunch of floodgates in the side deck so that you can counter Molchemi Furaros. People are playing Furaros a little less because it's actually really garbage against this deck. They don't need to summon much from the extra deck to beat you. If you Furaros them, then they can just go, okay, but summon Bagus Capas. And then you drew 1 card and you're under a floodgate that takes a long-ass time to beat, usually. Alright, so Tenpai Dragon, this is explained here that the deck has a terrible matchup against the Ryzeal Dreadnator, or Deadnator, rather. This is the Xyz monster that can destroy a card whenever your opponent activates a card or effect. So, for example, you can go activate the field spell, and then your opponent can immediately go Detonator effect destroy. You don't have to use a card effect necessarily. Just activating a card is enough for Detonator to trigger. Basically mentioning that this is how the ruling works. This should be correct in the TCG. For the cards that are good against the deck, I've already mentioned it. Ultimate Slayer is insane, so that's the reason why Tenpai Dragon is main decking the damn card. And it's overall decent against a bunch of decks. Like, even against Snake Eye, it's not too bad. You bounce back their Mu Arcielico, I think that's the name, or Silvera something, whatever, the one that negates anything. And then you send Elder Entity Entis, and then you destroy something else. So yeah, Ultimate Slayer is a 1 for 2. The only issue can be the extra deck commitment. It's very reminiscent to Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. And obviously, going first, this card doesn't do jack shit. So that's the reason why it's only really viable in decks like Tenpai Dragon. Ironically, even against like the Mirror Match, this card could be good if your opponent has like a Hieratic Seal. You can still go, send a Link monster, bounce back that Hieratic Seal, and then your opponent has to use the effect, and then you can also send the Char Brigade Link 5, which then sends Garura, draw 1 card. So you're basically going next 0 to get rid of an annoying interruption. That's again, one of the best applications for Ultimate Slayer. The reason why I think it's just one of the better cards that you can play this format, alongside Book of Eclipse. Now, again, in the side deck, we're seeing Heatwave and Solemn Judgment, again, for the going first card of choice. So Heatwave is such a broken card generically. I will, again, I keep delaying it, but I will be making a video solely just to explain how stupid the Heatwave is. And last but definitely not least, we got the Maliss deck. So I don't know if this is all, I mean, this should be relatively easy to understand. Just like Tenpai Dragon, this deck can play a ridiculous amount of non-engine cards. So 5, 8, 11, 13, 16, 19 hand traps alongside 4 anti-hand trap cards and a bunch of starters and one-card combos. So yeah, the Dormouse is a one-card combo. The White Rabbit is a one-card combo. Kind of, not really. The Field Spell is a semi-one-card combo. Gold Sark, Terraforming, same thing. And Dormouse is like the only like true one-card combo that I can think of. But even when you're drawing like a little suboptimal, you can still kind of get access to what you want to get. So like even if you only have like Dotscaper, that's still a one-card Terahertz, which then sends the not the Plexer Chimera, I'm stupid. Cyrus the Zavworm. There you go. Yeah, I actually never played that card in my life. And yeah, Terahertz is just nasty. Hold on a second, I might have. I do remember playing Terahertz once. Oh, I'm stupid. Alright, so just like, just in case 19 hand traps wasn't enough, we're obviously citing 6 more because, you know, why not, huh? Merry Christmas. In a 40 card deck, by the way. This is absurd. This is ridiculous. The one issue is that your deck isn't doing much to beat Nibiru. Nibiru is your kryptonite. That's why there's the one of Nibiru for the crossout. But nobody's playing Nibiru when you think about it, so... Yeah, I don't know why the OCG is so conservative. Like in the TCG, everybody and their mother is main decking 3 Nib. In the OCG, no. So you can play decks like that just get demolished by this card, and it's not the end of the world. And this deck doesn't really lose too much to Max C, because obviously you play a lot of hand traps, so a lot of defensive cards, and you can still search your trap cards that are ways to play on your opponent's turn, so honestly it's really not the end of the world. And yet again, in the extra deck, we are seeing Ultimate Slayer. This card is like even better in this deck because you have a bunch of options inherently, so you can send the Cyrus the Zavworm, which is good to get in your graveyard. It can even be like an option for ensuring that your plays go through when you already have a link for high. Obviously, that's unrealistic, but yeah, sending Aggregator, that's insane. That's the play that you do against this deck. So you bounce back their Detonator, and then you're going to be using Aggregator to negate their Field Spell. This is also something that is being mentioned here. Yes. But they can negate the Aggregator effect with the Trap Tricks Rafflesia, so sending the Gravedigger hole, so yeah, watch out. Maybe you're going to be doing the exact opposite. Maybe you're going to be bouncing back their Rafflesia and then negating their your Detonator. The good news is that Ultimate Slayer is not once per turn, so if you draw multiple copies of it, then you can just keep breaking their board over and over. So yeah, if you can play a deck like Labyrinth, where you don't really need to play hand traps and you can play some actual board breakers instead, like Ultimate Slayer as your only one board breaker of choice, it would be good enough just because it actually gets rid of stuff and it's really hard to respond. I mean, yeah, you basically need Solemn Judgment, and even if you Solemn Judgment this card, you're still getting at the very least a little bit of value with it, so I actually think this is insane. But for next format, you can expect absolutely everyone to have Solemn Judgment and Anti-Spell. Even though Anti-Spell is just a one-off for us, it stops so many spell cards, and spell cards are going to be really good. Maybe it's going to be a board breaker format, but maybe not. I don't think it's going to be a full hand trap format just because hand traps are kind of mediocre against this deck overall. It has so many ways of getting its engine started, and you only really want to hand trap the extra deck cards, and usually they can also negate your hand traps with a Field Spell. So it looks broken, but it's complete garbage. But yeah, you guys let me know how you feel about the OCG format and the future of the TCG in the comment section below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.